Peace, love, and divine light. Thank you for tuning in. It's Dr. Caprell. Thank you for following up with day 3 session of Operation Raise Your Vibration. Now, in this session, we are really gonna tap a little bit, just a tinge, into understanding the breath. So hopefully this won't be as long as the others, but I do want to give you a well-rounded approach to raising your vibration. And breath is a tremendous part of it. Now, I'm not a professional expert in breath work, but I can base a lot of things off of the work that I have done in the past 15 to 20 years of working with clients in energy therapy, hypnotherapy, and the like that have worked tremendously in getting results. Breathing is a mechanism that we use, and it is a part of just being. In our current awareness and understanding, without breathing, we are not alive. Now, there is a lot to this I've learned in some picking up of, let's say, information from sacred teachings and different aspects of learning, spiritual learning. And breath is a little bit more in depth than we have allowed ourselves to believe, but also that is unfortunately misunderstood. Even though we are breathing beings, we have very little understanding of the in-depth ability we have to breathe. So we're going to go through some things and some understandings in that with this session. So in today's hectic world, we can easily lose sight of our focus and our breath, and sometimes simultaneously. The haste of things that are constantly going on around us, the news, the keeping up with just life in itself, the bills, the children and family, the responsibilities, all of these things can literally and actually do literally take our breaths away. We have to intentionally and mindfully set aside time in our day to ground and breathe. Breathe into our moments, breathe into ourselves, and actually do so with greater intention so that we get the most out of each moment to moment in our breathing. This will help, especially when the pace of life is getting so past us where we can't keep up. We remember to say, wait a minute, let me catch a breath, let me get my focus before I jump back into the race. Because we all know it's literally a race out there. And that's just a part of this game that we're in. But if we equip ourselves, it's not so hard to keep up, or as hard to keep up. Through mindful breathing and intentional breathing, we are actually activating the sense of connection to ourselves, to our bodies, and to everything around us. It's a different level of connectivity. It's something we often kind of breeze past. However, when you are thinking about it and cohesively doing the work that I'm going to show you, you will find that it's going to be something that you'll be like, how did I live without this before? If you are new here, I want to welcome you cordially. Thank you for tuning in. My name is Dr. Caprell, Doctor of Divinity and Doctor of Metaphysical Sciences, here with an intention to help you work through your spiritual awakening process, but also help you open up your greatest potential, raise your vibration, and help you attain self-mastery. And if you are a frequent person here, I thank you even more for tuning in once again, because you didn't have to, of all the slews of things you could be listening to. So I want to give a special shout out to you. Now let's talk about this mindfulness and breathing, okay? When you are breathing mindfully, you're really intentionally breathing. See, right now we kind of take a lot of shallow breaths. We're not thinking about it because breathing is second nature, really more like first nature to us. We breathe without thinking. But what happens when you do things with focus and with thinking it through and being intentional with it and wondering where it's going? And now Now you change the dynamic of how you do something. That something being breathing. So when you take a deep breath, it naturally relaxes your mind, your body, and your spirit. Now, what happens if you do that more frequently by focusing on where that breath is going inside the body? We are always taught that it is through the lungs that our breath circulates. But the proper way is to take that breath in into your chest and into your abdomen so that they both fill up like a balloon on inhale, and on exhale, they both flatten. In partitions, of course, your first part would be your lungs, and any remaining air would hit your abdomen, but in that, they start to sync up and breathe in the proper manner. When we start breathing correctly, this almost immediately will lift your vibration, because we are made of breath and air and light and love, all those things. But if one part is off, then so are the others. There are many techniques that you can learn and inquire about and find that will help you to deepen your breathing and help your body to elevate. A few of them would be something like the fire breath, the bumblebee breath, the box breath is one, and then the more recent, the Hoff breath. That's his name. I've heard a lot about that one. I've not tried it myself. But then there's also the pranayama breath, one of my favorites. Now, all of these different forms of breathing do different things for the body. And that's just a handful of different formats of breathing techniques. So just imagine if you take all these different formats, that means that there are tons of things that breathing can do. If they all focus on different things, then that means there's more to breathing than we know, that we understand. But it's important for you to do some experimentation with any of the ones that I named, or find one that resonates with you, because each body requires something different. And when you lock in on that, make it a part of your everyday practice and record those results. That is super, super important. All right, so now we're going to do a very simple breathing exercise, and it's kind of going to carry over from session 2 where we did that small one. It's going to kind of tie into that. Now, with your feet planted to the ground, I want you to take a deep breath in, and remember, take that breath in to your lungs, to your chest is up, and your stomach simultaneously. And when you exhale, make sure you're empty. Okay? Deep breath in. And exhale. Now, intentionally, with each breath you exhale, it's very, very helpful to release any thoughts, any feelings that you are harboring that have maybe been pinging around in your head all day, or running through your emotional field all day. Also, it really, really helps that you are mindful about the breath pockets that exist in your body. Sometimes we breathe in, but because we don't properly release intake and release, we are holding breath in parts of our body. The stale air that's there can also cause issues of energy inside the body. Now, in this next breath, I want you to take a very big deep breath. And in your mind, I want you to picture you're gathering all of those air pockets. And as you exhale, let it all go. If you have to use your hands to kind of help motion that out, then do so, because that does help. Ready? Deep breath in. And release. Now I want you to pay attention to how you're feeling. You may feel a touch of lightheadedness, but it will regain itself after a moment or two. Then I want you to check back in, of course, and get a real allocation of where you are. Now, this breathing exercise was intended to help you feel more centered and focused, but also give your body what it's needing so that it can do the job that it needs as you're doing the vibration work. If you're not breathing properly and you're breathing in a more 2D, 3D capacity, then therefore you are not going to find it easy to raise that vibration and that frequency. But also just being mindful of the moments that you're holding your breath. Ask yourself why you're holding your breath. Do a little bit of some journaling and discover more of that reason why. Is it stemming from a situation, a trauma? Are you having a PTSD kind of moment? Really asking yourself this and then being prepared to say, if it's not serving me now, can I let it go? And if so, do so, release it, and then begin to breathe again. The final way I want to tell you how you can use mindful breathing is by use of breathing and affirmation. Now, as you're doing that deep breath in and slow release, which by the way, you can do it in any place that you find yourself in, at home, sitting at a light, at work, wherever you are, it is effective. So it's just meaning that you'll have to employ it and make it useful to you. Now, getting back to the original statement, when you utilize that mindful breathing wherever you are, incorporate an affirmation that strengthens the body's awareness of what we're doing and why. That affirming helps to bring a synchronicity to the body and all the parts that are doing the breathing. And in that, you begin to find yourself in a certain flow of breath. Okay, so as you take that deep breath in, have a clear understanding of what affirmation you're going to intend. Even if it's something as simple as breathing. I am breathing in this air and it is filling my body with everything that it needs to operate in complete optimal functionality. And exhale with gratitude. You may find it rather interesting that along the series, how each piece plays inside of one another. They literally layer. They literally are puzzle pieces inside of one another. Sorry for the emphasis on the beat. But the way that they fit with one another is because we are literally layers of beings, and everything that we need to become that ultimate, like, who remembers Power Rangers and Transformers, right? They're different levels and they create this massive thing, this super being. And that's what we're trying to get to at this point in raising our vibration. Awaken that super being. So breathing again is imperative to that part, as well as the ones previous, gratitude and laws of the universe. So breathing is one of those things, gratitude and laws of the universe as previous, and there will be more to come inside of the series of elements, which is what part we're in now. We've utilized air, and we will go into how water is helpful, how earth is helpful, and how fire is also helpful in helping us to uplift and elevate our souls and spirits. All right, so this is going to wrap up today's session 3 of the Raise Your Vibration series. Now, if you found anything here enlightening or helpful, please leave a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe, share with at least 5 people, because we are all going through this journey and may very well need this information right now. If you have any comments you would like to leave, I would love to hear your feedback of how these past few sessions have been, including how it's been for you in this one. And I thank you again for tuning in, and I'm looking forward to our next session. As always, I send love to you and light to you in all ways. Kepra L.